Okay. All right.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for hopping on with us. My name is Samantha Comas, and I have been with Q since March. And I have Jodi here, and I have known her through a few previous companies, I think. And she has such an amazing heart, and she has really found what is helping her really get through the day. And she just is so excited to share that with you. And then I also have my friend Allie here, and I have known her for several years through other businesses. And she is just a fountain of knowledge, and she has really taken this opportunity and ran with it. And she shows what the true potential is in this business. And we're excited to share everything with you guys.
Oh my gosh, Sam, you're so sweet. And I just want to say that Sam says we've known each other for a lot of years. It's been so long. I wasn't even living in the state of Pennsylvania when I met Sam. We've since moved there, but we met in Orlando. And I think we have all come from a place that is like a social selling, product pushing mindset. And it is exhausting, even if you're good at it. That is actually why I said yes to this. So just a background about me. And I always like people to know, because I mean, it's so sweet that Sam is saying like, that I show like what's possible here. And yes, I have had success here, but I like to talk about the fact that I've actually failed multiple companies, not just one, and failed pretty brutally as well. It took a lot of time. My husband's laughing right now. He just giggled. It's true though. Like I started out not knowing how to do this, and I did it all wrong. And then my first success was with a company called LuLaRoe, which we all know about, or at least a lot of us do. And I think the reason why I found success there was because I had no choice, because that was a lot of money to start up. But it was a never ending hamster wheel. The more you have, the more you sell. If you stop selling, you stop making money. And even though we were doing very well with it, like the idea of taking up even a couple days off to take my family to like the beach stressed me out, because you lose momentum, and that's really no way to live. After my period of time in like a network marketing company that was clothing based, I started my own boutique. I still have that now, but we were right back into the never ending hamster wheel. If I let off the steam just a little bit, our sales drastically dip, and it's an incredibly stressful situation. So I was approached about this during a perfect time, because we were in the middle of a 3-month-long camping trip, and my boutique is virtual, but it was really hard to do it still on the road, but we were making it work. But there was 3 kids and 3 dogs and a camper on the road, and somebody approached me about this, and I tried to say no. And I was trying to say no because of some bad past experiences that I've had. I didn't think I wanted to get into any other company. And I'm really glad that my friend pushed me to say yes and to give it a try. And she did so by promising me she was going to be there with me every step of the way. And that is something I did not have in other companies. And Sam will probably shake her head at that, because you and other companies, you're like, oh yeah, you signed up. Okay, good luck. Tune into some trainings. And here it's like hand holding, and you are literally being guided every single step of the way. And we have some really amazing processes in place that make this system work for anybody, including for people who are not big on social media, might I add. In fact, I met somebody who is in this business who doesn't have Facebook, and she is doing really, really well. I know Sam's like, whoa, because she's like the Facebook queen. Yeah, she doesn't have Facebook. She's Instagram only, and she makes it work. So, all right, that's my spiel on just a little bit of a background about me. I just like everybody to know that like I didn't always have success, and the reason why I said yes to this is because it's so different. So let's chat about that real quick. And I apologize ahead of time. Sharing my screen, I always fumble around, so just give me a second. All right. So obviously this is very different than boutique owning. I don't know if anybody watching has been in social selling before, or sold clothes or nails or makeup or whatever. But when you, in my opinion, it's my opinion, whenever you are going to put something in your body, you probably want it to have been around for a little bit, to make sure that it is of a good quality. You're ingesting it. And so when my friend was telling me how we're in this momentum stage, my fear was, are the products new? Because I'm not putting any of that in my body. if they're brand new. The products have been around since 2012, and I'll explain why they've been around that long, but you're just now hearing about them in a few minutes. We are currently, it's actually incorrect. We're in 23 countries. I just looked on our website today, and it's just constantly growing. I need to update the slide, but it's our goal to be in 60 countries in 4 years. And international is like the key to longevity with companies like this. So the fact that we are going international is huge. Several of my past companies were not international, and it was actually one of their biggest handicaps. So the fact that we already have that going on is awesome. But let's talk about how it got started. And I could go on here and on because I have now officially met 2 of these guys, and they are everything everybody says they are and so much more. One of the leaders described Mark Wilson as a man with kind eyes and like a grandpa you want to hug. And I absolutely agree. He is truly amazing, but he's what started it all. It was like his idea. And then when he met Dr. Stephen Kimberly is where everything like really got underway. But Mark is a football player, like professional, was in the NFL, won 2 Super Bowls. And then after his career in football, he got into real estate and was 20 years in that. I did not know that until today, but he didn't just dabble in it. He was very successful in it and for a really long time. And then true retirement kicked in, and he was on the golf course. And in a really short period of time, he asked himself, is this really what you're going to do every day for the rest of your life? And he was bored, and he thought there was more to life. And he knew that given his success financially in life, he had the ability to start something great and help others. So he asked everybody around him the same question. And it's like, if he was going to do something and he was going to make something amazing, like what would it be? Like, how could he help people? And he got the same 3 answers over and over and over again. And it was, if you could help people with their health and wellness, if you could help in some way with their children, like help benefit their children, and then if you could help them financially. So his wheels were constantly turning. He met with a friend for lunch and was talking through some things. And his friend said, if you have an interest in helping people's true health and well-being, you need to meet my friend, Dr. Stephen Kimberly. So, I mean, a lot of companies have a chief science officer if they are in like the nutraceutical world. I hope they do. But our chief science officer happens to be a real MD. He studied internal medicine. He's a naturopath, and he is one of the former editors of WebMD. He had a very lengthy career with WebMD after he went from practicing medicine into that, and now he is with us. No other company can say that. In fact, a lot of other companies wanted him, and he turned them down because he is insanely particular. So unless he had somebody that was just going to listen to him and trust him completely and not beg him to change things for marketability, he wasn't going to work with them. So Mark and Dr. Stephen Kimberly got together and everything got started. But Mark was never in the direct sales industry. And the reason why he chose this, like they could have tried to get it out into stores. And Sam, you're going to like this part. This is what he was telling us. They talked about like, okay, should we get it into stores like Walmart? But what he's learned about Walmart, because he went to college and learned about all of this, what happens is they might say yes to a product and they might, buy the product, but after it's been in their store for a period of time, they pull a fast one and say, if you want us to continue to carry it, you need to reduce cost. And then they do it again a couple of years later, and they do it again a couple of years later. And what happens is eventually, if you want to continue to stay at Walmart, you have to sacrifice the integrity and quality of your product. So that's why he went the network marketing route, because that would never happen. And he'd be helping everybody else live a better financial life. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. They had good momentum. They had 85% customer retention, which in this industry, it means that the products do what they say they're going to do. You don't have 85% customer retention on items you take internally if they're not actually working. So why weren't we having like the rapid growth? He hired Jake Spencer. Jake Spencer is a multimillionaire network marketer who was retired from the field and doing consulting work. He hired him to figure out why. And there was a lot of things that Jake decided to completely overhaul, including our comp plan. And in 2008, that happened. And that's when we went straight on up. And we have been doing that ever since. And we are just entering in like a really rapid momentum phase. So here is like your visual. If you have done anything like this before, you probably know the term saturation. You cannot, no matter how amazing you are, Get into a business when it's already saturated and find the success that you are looking for. Saturation is when everybody's heard of it. And if they want it, they already know somebody who is involved with the company. Ground floor is really rough. Sam and I have lived through ground floor. Jodi too, I think, right, Sam? Yeah. So like sometimes ground floor is just that, and it never gets off of ground floor. You might be putting in all the blood, sweat, and tears, but the company makes some wrong moves and it crumbles. And we personally experienced that. And the heartache associated with that was actually one of the reasons why I almost said no to this, because it was a scarring situation. So we're past ground floor, just getting into momentum. So you're past the risky phase of ground floor, and years before saturation is even going to be a thing. And that, my friends, is why like they say timing is everything. But I take it like one step further. We have the amazing products that are established, and now we have the amazing comp plan that they relaunched in 2018, and we've seen 700% growth since then. But I truly believe what happened to our world last year caused people to truly care about their health, people who hadn't cared about their health before. And I think that is like the third thing that caused us to really start to grow in the last 12 months, because people are starting to care less about things and material possessions and more about taking control over their own health. And that's what we do here. So, all right, enough from me. Sam can chat about her personal testimony on some of the products, or if you want to tell your husband, Sam, and then Jodi can talk about hers, and then I'll do a brief overview of our products. I don't deep dive, only because you need to pick what's right for you, but I will do an overview so you know what we do have available.
All right. Do you want to go to the next slide really quickly? All right, so this is our Q Core. This is our flagship product. This is where it all started, and it's just absolutely amazing. You will feel the difference within days of taking it, and my husband can actually vouch for it. So what this product is, the Q Core Max that's like your overall health. So that's going to give you that mental clarity. It's going to get rid of the brain fog, and it actually gives your body the nutrients that it's not getting. So our bodies actually need more than any of us could ever get. And Allie will talk about that more, but we lose we're 30%, I believe, deficient in nutrients. And it doesn't matter how clean you eat, how healthy you eat. You could have the cleanest, best diet, getting the most organic products, and you will still be 30% nutrient deficient. And these products are going to fill that gap, and your body, like, it will reward you for it. So the Q Core Max is great for the brain fog. The Align is amazing for any inflammation, and that's internal and external. And then you have the Biotics, which is great for your gut health. So it's like any other biotic, but it's a prebiotic and a postbiotic. Yeah. So my husband, he started taking this, and he was not a fan. He's like, what are we doing? What is this? And I was like, just trust me, because I had already been taking it for like 2 weeks. So I already knew that it was helping me, but he's like, what are you doing? So he took it for 3 days or 4 days. He went and got his blood work done, and he literally went from Christmas tree blood work, like red and green, mostly red, to all green. And he was just like, well, I changed nothing. I did nothing different besides take these pills. All right, I'm in. Okay, I'll keep taking them. So he's actually going to get blood work done again in a week. So I'm really excited to see it. So.
Oh, I am really excited to hear it now that he's been on it for so long. I'm so excited. Right. And he couldn't have been more of a skeptic, by the way, you guys. He really, really was. Such a skeptic. So I'll just elaborate just a little bit on like what Sam said. Everything she said with the Q Core is 1,000% true. But what you need to understand is why this actually absorbs into your body and why the other supplements that you get anywhere else do not. they go through a micronization process that breaks them down in a way that allows them to be absorbed on a cellular level. I know that sounds sciencey, but basically think of it this way. This is like the dumbed down version. If you can't absorb it, you're burning money. And if you can absorb it, you're going to feel better. All of our products are designed for you to actually absorb them. It's probably like the common theme among all of our products is the capability of your body absorbing it. Because again, if it's something your body can't absorb, you are wasting money. And almost everything out there is not capable of being absorbed the way ours are. So aside from the fact that when you read the ingredients, you actually understand what you're reading, which is just awesome, because I'm so sick and tired of looking at it and going, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this means. When you read ours, you're like, awesome. Like I know what's going into these, but they put them through their process that gets them into the cellular level. And not just that, ours are actually capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier, which means they help in mental health as well. And not just with clarity, with like true mental health. And some of the testimonies that are out there are people that suffered from severe anxiety and depression have noticed a significant change since using these. And that's my testimony with this. I was really starting to suffer from some pretty severe anxiety again. I did not want to go back on prescription medication for it because they are brutal to go off of. I have done it twice because I wanted to have kids. And it's awful. It's a really, really awful feeling going off of that. The withdrawal is real. And I was not expecting that from this. I was expecting maybe some more energy just to feel better, or heck, just to know that I was giving my body what it needs. And the various things that have happened to me have been really amazing. And somebody said on a call today, he recommends doing a full body scan before you start taking this, and then do another full body scan, like just personal, like truly think about, okay, how is my mental health? Okay, how is my gut health? How is my overall energy? Just like, kind of just scan your body from top to bottom, and then do it again in a couple weeks and see the difference. If you don't do that, you're going to be the type of person that goes, I don't know if I really feel that much. And then when you stop taking it, that's when you actually see the difference. I've had a couple of situations like that too, where they were like, oh, I mean, okay, maybe I feel a little bit more energy. I don't really feel that much though. And then they stop taking it. And then I get a message going, never mind. This stuff really is different. I just wasn't picking up on it because it was slowly helping me. But when I stopped taking it, I felt awful. So that was kind of cool to hear from like the skeptic who didn't think that it was working when she stopped taking it and noticed a drastic difference and not for the better. So that's why they get into your system. And all of these other products, they do the same thing. They get into your system and they are made in a way where your body can actually absorb them. So what do we have here? People hear health and wellness. And I actually tell my team, don't use the words health and wellness because they think it's going to be a shake company. They think we're going to be that company that sells weight loss stuff. We have a very small bubble of that. It's not that we don't have it, but that is not what we are about. We are about overall health, the full spectrum. So that's a chunk. We have a massive full and broad spectrum hemp line available. That is my testimony that I will scream from the rooftops because it has helped me so very much. Again, our hemp can be absorbed, but people always want to know, like, why can ours be absorbed and other hemp cannot? Most CBDs on the market, or actually all of them, they are CBD oil. You hear them say CBD oil. It's an oil. You as a human are 75% water. Of course, oil and water, they don't mix so well. So you put it in your body and it comes right out. Just like I was telling you, all the other things was a waste of money. It'll absorb 5 to 15% if you're lucky. I have spent 70 to 120 bottles on, or $120 on bottles of CBD in the past. I bought the good stuff, supposedly, and I never felt anything. So when I was approached about this and I saw that we had hemp, I was like, you know what? This person is swearing that our products are different and I'm going to put it to the test. Let's see how different they really are. And I ordered this. I have a chronic condition that prevents me from getting into REM sleep. I have a condition called interstitial cystitis and it causes bladder spasms. I took this night one and slept straight through the night for basically the first time in my adult life, except for when I was addicted to prescription sleep aids. This is hemp you can feel. And that's what it says on the bottle. It says hemp you can feel. So the difference with ours, it absorbs 85+% because they formulated it to be water soluble, meaning your body is actually going to be able to absorb it. And that's the difference with our hemp. I'll let Jodi talk about the sleep spray in a minute, but I want to point out we have a lot of sprays. It's not just the sleep spray. Sleep spray just happens to be our number one seller. They are liquid vitamins that you spray under your tongue. They're methylated and they get into your system fast. The only way to get them in there faster is if you had an IV. So they are a really, really great thing to have around. I keep the B12 around so I can have my energy boost throughout the day. Fun fact about vitamin D3, anybody who got COVID really, really bad, most of them were vitamin D deficient. So this is something that I've had in my house before I even knew about Q Sciences. I had liquid vitamin D3 in my house way, way, way before, because I learned this when I was researching it since my parents had COVID and they had it really bad. This was one of the things that we added to our daily routine. And what we have here being liquid and a spray that you just spray underneath your tongue, you can use it for anybody in your family and it works really, really great. And then we have this massive line of nutraceuticals, and we have something for everybody. If you are athletic and you're into sports, we have things for that. If you're trying to lose weight, we have things for that, and pretty much everything in between. Water enhancers and items for kids. The Fuse line has something for pets. So we truly do have something for everybody. All right. And then Jodi, if you want to talk about the sleep spray, since that's how you got started, that would be awesome.
So my biggest thing, it's not even for me, it's for my 3-year-old. I thought that when she was done napping, I thought that her sleep would get better. And it took hours for us to get her to sleep. Like she literally just, was an overtired toddler. And so I saw Sam post about some stuff and I'm like, and I really didn't want to go the, pill route with melatonin, stuff like that. And I saw a couple people talking about the sleep spray. I'm like, all right. And I talked to my husband, made sure it was okay. Cause it's not just a one parent show here. And so then I told him, like, guess what? We're going to try a sleep spray. And so every night she gets excited. She's like, where's my sleep spray? And it literally, I think 8 sprays is like 1 milligram of melatonin. We do 1 spray, literally 1 spray. I just saw a post the other day where this parent said she was giving her kid 20 milligrams of melatonin and the kid was still awake. And I'm literally giving my kid a fraction of 1 milligram. And it is literally a life changer. Like 8 o'clock. Well, she should be sleeping, but she hasn't had her sleep spray yet because dad doesn't do it. Mom has to do it. But once I give it to her, she'll be like wound up. And then like 10 minutes later, she's like, here's my iPad. I have to go to sleep. I was like, good night. Bye. So literally, I've started to use all the other ones, and the reason I keep it in a bag is because my dog got a hold of it a couple weeks ago, and there is some xylitol in there, and that's not good for dogs and stuff. And so I now keep them in a bag, in a cabinet, so they're not laying around or falling on the floor or anything like that. But I do the sleep, and I also just really fast. I know it's not this green, but I use the boost spray also. Instead of a 3rd cup of coffee at like 1 o'clock, I just give it like a couple of sprays and I'm like rejuvenated, and you don't have that crash afterwards. So I can't talk. I mean, I have all my plethora of stuff over here that I use, but I can't speak more highly about the sprays and the change of our lives.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And that's really what it's about. Like, this isn't a company that's like, buy all this stuff and have all this stock in your house. No, it's figure out what your body's needs are or what your family's needs are and get what you need for your life and help others along the way. So we'll get into like how people are successful in this in just a minute, but that's like the reason why I wanted you guys to hear about the testimonies is because everybody has their favorites. Everybody's body has different needs and everybody has a different story. And it's really about connecting with people and figuring out how we can help them. And I guarantee you there is something in our product line that can help them, like no matter who they are, even kids, even pets, everybody across the board. So I just wanted to, I think, thank you ladies for sharing that. And that's why we do these testimonies. So you guys can see like there's different stories across the map, even with kids, which is awesome. So I always skip this slide because I like to get right to like the meat and potatoes. Our comp plan is a 1-pager. And I always like to start with column number 4 because maybe you're hesitant Maybe you have never done this before, or maybe you have and you've hit roadblocks before. Every single person on this call has experienced that. So number 4 is something that everybody gets no matter what. We have something called our financial freedom movement. And I know you see numbers associated with this, and yes, there are. However, when you first sign up, before you ever have a customer or an ambassador with you, you literally could never sell a single sleep spray as long as you were with the company. You get a free financial coach. And I've done some digging, and the financial coaches out there, AKA financial advisors, they charge hourly and they're really expensive. They charge sometimes around $300 an hour for a good one. And we have a story recently about somebody who signed up as an ambassador. They're a small business owner who was struggling. They sold a tremendous amount every month, but their finances were a mess, and they knew they needed a financial advisor, but things were such a mess, they could not afford one. They signed up with us, and the financial advisors that we have helped them through their mess in their other business. It's not about like helping you with money management with money you make here. No. It's about what you need. Do you need help figuring out a way to pay off debt? Do you need help figuring out a way to get approved for a loan? Do you need financial coaching for retirement? Like whatever you need, you come to the meeting with all your business, and they go through the whole thing with you, and you set up a plan based on your own personal needs. So this small business owner, even though she's with our company now and doing really, really well, they helped her with her other business. So again, it's what you need. And that comes from the moment you sign up. You can send an email in to the Financial Freedom Movement department and set up your meeting. And I just think that that's amazing, because I think the other girls that are here, we've seen companies where it's nothing but a bunch of glitz and glam. They wine and dine you. There's diamonds, there's like prizes, there's cars. That's so the company can look fancy. It just is the reality. And here, the goal is to get people financially stable. Our president said, I don't want to be raising a bunch of knuckleheads that have made a ton of money and they blow it. And I just love him for that. I love him for his bluntness. I love the fact that his wife heads up our financial freedom movement and will sit down with you one-on-one and talk to you. The president's wife. And I just sat with her. She is a wealth of knowledge, and I've never seen anything like it in any company I have ever been a part of. The companies that do free cars, I've learned 50% of those cars get repossessed because it's not really a free car for you. It's to make the company look good. And here it's just different. So I always start with number 4, because maybe you don't want to run fast, or maybe you want to go really slow. Maybe you just want to share this with friends and family. You can still benefit greatly by the financial freedom movement coach that we have. So let's say you do move up in rank. 4th rank is elite. You start to get $100 a month, but what does that mean? That does not go into your check for you to like spend on whatever you want. They want to know, okay, what debt do you have? Pick one. Is it a car? Is it a house? Is it credit cards? Is it student loans? You pick. We're going to send $100 a month to that debt of your choice. I have been blessed to find great success here. I am the rank of silver, and they send $300 a month towards my car payment. That's awesome. It's like going to pay my car. Can you imagine how much faster that car loan is going to go away with $300 a month going towards it? It's truly an amazing thing that they have going on here. Because again, the most important thing to them is overall health, and financial health is part of that. So then we get into the fun part, like columns 2 and 3, I love because they are structured so different than anything else. Column 3, I'll be brief. They're one-time bonuses. You can get these first couple really, really fast. They are the only ones that have a time clock associated with them. So if you sign up today, you have until the end of July. So a full calendar month. June doesn't count. So a full calendar month to accomplish those. All of the other ones are not time sensitive. Once you hit them, you just have to maintain them according to the chart, and you will earn the bonuses. But as you can see, it's worth the wait because they get really, really big, really, really fast. So that's the one-time promotional bonus. So as you hit ranks, you get them. Then column 2, this is really where it's so different. And it took me a very long time to wrap my head around this. I've looked at a lot of comp plans. I haven't seen one like this. For example, when I was in LuLaRoe, I need to have 10 directs to be a trainer. That's the first rank, and you need 10. Here you need 2 all the way down. Just two. The idea is get two and teach them to get two, or help them get two. Like I said, we link arms here. You do not do this alone. You do this with Jodi and with Sam and with me. You probably will meet my upline, who is Katie. We all do it together and we all help each other. Like right now, she has 2 leaders on this call with her. And that's the way things work around here, but you only need 2. And that's why this is so doable, because you get 2 and you help them get there 2. You don't get 2 and then send them off. You get 2 and then you help them get there 2. It's about helping everybody. So it snowball effects pretty quickly, because if everybody is being taught to get there 2, it branches out really, really quickly. Other comp plans, you have a cap on where you're able to get paid. When I was in another company, I did not get paid past my level 5, for example. I'm just picking a number out of air because I don't remember, but there's always a cap. It's like you get all of that up until a certain level. And then, we don't want to pay you all the way down, because your organization might get really, really big and we would have to pay you too much money. Here, it doesn't matter. If somebody's on your level 100 and they're killing it, it counts. It's about overall volume. It's about your overall organization and how it's doing. And the reason why they do that is because they want leaders like me working at the bottom of my lines. They don't want me working up at the top, where like the people that I brought in and I'm working really closely with them, and forget everybody down below. They want us at the bottom. So if they want us at the bottom, we need to be able to actually have that count for us. And it does here. And because of that, nobody gets lost in the mix, which is really incredible. The pay is promised. It's not an average. It's not a maybe. It's guaranteed. That's very different as well. I've never seen that before. Any other company, it was always like, oh, payday's coming up. I wonder what my check's going to be. I hope it's enough to pay my bills. Here it is a guarantee. If you hit the rank of executive, for example, you get $250. It's guaranteed. It's not an if, it's a guarantee. So that's something that I love too, because it's a lot easier to budget and plan your life. Like if you know that you're the solid rank of executive and that's not going anywhere, that's your groceries. That's, water and electric. That's part of a car payment. That's money that you can count on every single month. That's your products for free and then some. There's lots of ways to look at it, but it's nice to know that it is a guarantee pay and that you only need 2 people. It's incredible. And then the last column, I always talk about this last because it's not like our customers aren't important. It's that the majority of the people don't sign up as a customer, because as an ambassador, there's no monthly fees associated with it. It's, if you order product for yourself, you're ordering just what you need for yourself. You're not ordering stock. There's no sales requirements. And you get the free financial coach. So I'm just being honest with you. I have 3 customers. That's it. I have 3. Everybody else chose to go the ambassador route. But if you do have customers, you are paid a commission on them, and you absolutely can do that. And there's nothing wrong with it. I just always like to make sure people know the difference between preferred customer and ambassador, and what you get as an ambassador with the financial coach. Most people are like, I want help with my finances for free. And that's what they decide to do. But it is obviously completely up to you. And the last thing I like to chat about on the next slide is we get paid weekly here, which is also very, very rare in the industry. I don't know any other company that's doing it. Every time I've ever gotten paid from a company, I've always had to wait until the next month to get that check. And sometimes it was really hard to wait until payday. And here we get paid as we hit ranks throughout the month, every Friday. Super cool. And here is a visual of what it looks like of you plus 2. It's literally you with 2 and then them with their 2. And it's very, very obtainable. So right now you're looking at the rank of pro, which is our second rank in the company. And you can see how it's very, very easy to accomplish. And then it just continues to spider web from there. The person that brought me in was like, Allie, I know that you're going to hit bronze in your first month. You have an amazing network. I know that you're going to do it. And I looked at what it meant to be bronze, and I'm like, there's no way. Like I can do businesses like this, but there's no way. And I did hit that rank in my first month, but it's because everybody was busy getting their 2 people. And the next thing I knew, everybody had their 2 people and I was bronze. I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to listen to you from here on out because you weren't lying to me. So Sam, did you have anything else that you wanted to add? I know that you have a really amazing testimony on how the culture here is different. And I feel like that would be amazing to come from you.
Yes, this is like 100% different from any of the network marketing companies I've been with, and I've had my fair share. There's some that I've just kind of dabbled in, and then there's some that I went full blown in, and I just blood, sweat, and tears, never found success. I earned some money, and with LuLaRoe, I definitely earned money, but it was at a lot of cost. But I never had anybody. Like in my first business, my sponsor left within a month, and she never even really like told me what to do. She just, got my, I'm under her. So there was just no guidance. And even in the company prior to this, there was guidance, but it was like, this way is the only way to do it, and it works for everybody. And that way was to be a person that I wasn't. And here you can be yourself, and like, I don't know, it's very, very different. Would never be able to reach out to a leader that is 4 ranks above me to get on a call. Like, I would never be able to do that. I would never be able to ask Allie to hop on a call in an hour, and if she's available, that she would actually, like, you wouldn't be able to do that with any other leadership team that I've been a part of. So just being here has been so incredible, and it's definitely different here.
Yeah, no, it totally is. It's like nobody left behind if they're willing to be coachable and learn. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
And as somebody who like I said, I've failed, but I have had my success. Having success alone is very lonely. I mean, I had a team of 30 in LuLaRoe, 30 directs. One of them earned the free trip that they offered. It was a horrible feeling. It really, really was. And here, I wish I had a count on how many people I've had hit ranks. I really do. I think I'm going to ask them to give me that number. My guy at corporate can tell me. But the fact that I have 4 people at the level of bronze, and I only started in March, that means I have 4 people on my team making $1,700 a month. And I have about 4 more that might hit this month. That's some life-changing money for some people. Like the big checks, they're great. It's cool to hear those stories, and people are making that money. And I'm not saying that they're not, but for the average family, an extra $500 to $1,000 a month is life-changing. It is. It's the difference between being able to go out and have fun with your family and not. It's the difference between like being paycheck to paycheck and not. Sometimes it's the difference between being late on your bills or not. So the fact that I have a ton of people making between $500 and $1,000 is everything to me as a leader, because that means that it's not just me winning, and for like the first time. And it's a very, very cool thing. So if you guys have any questions, like, you can unmute yourself. You can put it in the chat. If you want to chat, like just in Facebook Messenger, we can do that too. But I'm an open book. I'm a straight shooter. Sometimes I'm like a little too brutal, but like, I want everybody to know exactly like every possible detail to make the best decision that's right for them. I never push anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. We want it to be right for your family. So there's nothing that you can ask me that's silly, and I am an open book.
Thank you, Allie. The person that was going to join, I'm going to send her this afterwards. She had
Okay.
So,
yeah, I know she hopped on like at the comp plan, and so she like missed the introduction to it, and that is totally fine. We can get her the recording of it, friend.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to take just a few minutes to download.
Yeah, that's fine.
Upload it.
There's 2 people that sent me a thing afterwards that said, "Oh, I want to hop on," and
okay.
obviously, so I just said that I would send it. So
Well,
yeah,
that's fine.
thank you, everyone.
You're
Yeah,
so
thank
welcome.
you guys.